Morning, and coming up in this half hour, what were you doing at age 16 that you can actually talk about? Bugging your parents for the keys to the car or yakking on the phone? Yeah, those two things and others. Well, one young man has already put high school well behind him and college too. This is an amazing story. He's now in grad school, and that's not all. We're going to have his amazing story. This is a remarkable young man just ahead.
A real-life Doogie Howser. Dream, I guess. One kid who doesn't have to be reminded to do his homework. We're going to tell you a story. He's already in grad school at the age of 16. His extraordinary journey is coming up right after this.
Today's American Story with Bob Dotson comes from Stanford University's graduate program in Palo Alto, California, where Bob has found a budding Albert Einstein. Brilliant, of course, but a humanitarian, too. All at the tender age of 16.
This time of morning, most of us are deep in shallow conversation.
Are you done with your oatmeal?
Not Andrew Sue.
So you can label the individual cells that are mutants.
He's telling his dad how connections form in the brain.
So it seems like one of the problems is the fiber twisting.
Carl Deiseroff is professor at Stanford University, wonders about Andrew's brain. The kid, just 16, is already working on his doctorate in medical research.
There are parts of the brain that aren't fully done developing until the late 20s. It's striking that he's got all this together at his age.
Andrew started early. His parents taught him to read at age 2.
They would play these fun games like hiding books around for me to find and read.
By 5, Andrew was solving algebra problems. At 8, he entered high school, finished a year later.
By me is a paper on how to convert RNA to cDNA.
Here's his presentation for the Washington State Science Fair.
My project title is Identification, Characterization, and DNA Sequencing of the Homo sapiens and Mus musculus.
Andrew won grand prize, identified a human gene. So at 12, he pushed his scooter to the University of Washington and enrolled in college.
What? That was pretty much the reaction across the board.
Tutored honor students in science.
His smarts brought him to campus, but charity got him admitted. The faculty was impressed by a foundation Andrew started in his spare time. He and his brother Patrick send water filters to developing countries, funded in part by Andrew's autobiography, a short one, written when he was just 14.
His grandfather had it translated into Chinese, sold well enough for a book tour in Taiwan and Beijing, where adoring fans followed Andrew like the Pied Piper. Until one day, his grandfather's memory began to fade. Doctors diagnosed Alzheimer's.
I like to help to solve these kind of diseases and also make sure that no other family has to go through this kind of pain again.
That's why he decided to study the brain, majored in chemistry, biochemistry, and neurobiology. At 16, Andrew became the youngest ever to graduate from the University of Washington with 3 degrees.
Most college students enjoy living in the dorm and dating, and you're missing all that.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I don't think I really am missing anything.
He excels even at fun. By 12, he was an Olympic caliber swimmer. 0.7 of a second separated him from the fastest kid in the country. His little brother Ben struggles with tennis.
Watch the coach.
But Mom encourages all her boys to take an interest in sports so they could learn to deal with failure.
Benjamin, which is the front foot?
This is R.
Patrick has begun to show the same brilliance as his brother Andrew.
Where did they get that? Where did they get that?
But the Sues believe their kids will have a tough time living happy lives, no matter how smart, if they can't handle disappointment.
Okay, which shape is that?
This one.
David, their dad, is a mathematician.
This one.
Cool. Good job.
Besides brains and hard work, what does it take to succeed in life?
I think compassion is what I think is very important. They need to help other people. They need to put other people in front of them. In that way, they will never fail because they are not self-centered.
60 or 70 years from now, what will be the story of your life?
Andrew Sue, social innovator and neuroscience researcher, changes the lives of billions of people all around the world. I like that.
Bye, Angel.
At 16, he's already learned one of life's most valuable lessons. It's not enough to know a lot. You have to know what to do with it. For today, Bob Dotson, NBC News, with an American story in Palo Alto, California.
Wow, I'm blown away.
Yeah, this kid better get it together is all I can say.